$2,500 to $5 million. That is what I have been talking about. Imagine Switzerland. How much do you think of Meta they have in their wristwatches and they are selling for so much money and they call it Rolex? Today, our government is looking for more revenue. Population is growing. Expenses are piling up. We are putting too much emphasis on commodities. Our emphasis should be on industrial manufacturing. And it is very simple. It is not rocket science. Egypt is ahead of Nigeria. If you look at all the indices, South Africa is ahead of Nigeria. If you look at all the indices, Algeria is ahead of Nigeria. And the Nigerian people are feeling a lot of pressure. And the only way to get out of this is to start the process of industrial manufacturing. Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Caesar Saheni Iyayi. I am your advocate for the industrial development of Africa, for the industrialization of Nigeria. Today, I want to talk about something that is practical. I want to use that to illustrate the power of industrial manufacturing and how it can affect the economy of any country in Africa, particularly Nigeria. I'm talking about dental braces. Dental braces is a product, as you can see on your screen there, that is used by dentists to correct the alignment of the teeth structure of the patient. Without that, the jaw will be skewed in a manner that would disfigure the individual. So, scientists over the years came up with braces and they use it to correct the misalignment. What is so important about this now? I stumbled onto it when I saw somebody that had a problem. And I asked, how much is this thing? So they are charging them about 500 naira or so. But on the open market, if you go to Amazon, you see that it is selling for about $105. I was curious because I found that it didn't contain much material. It is made of steel, stainless steel. So I was curious. I said, okay, what is the weight of these braces? I found out it was 10 grams. I said, wow, 10 grams. How many grams do we have in 1 kilogram? 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So when I did the division, I found out it was 100 braces that we can get from 1 kilogram. In 1 ton, therefore, will be 100,000 because 1,000 kilogram is equal to 1 ton. So when you do the math, you see that from 1 ton of steel, stainless steel, you can get 1,000 pieces. So what has this got to do with manufacturing? I found out that 1 braces weighs about 10 grams. And in 1 kilogram, you have 1,000 grams make up 1 kilogram. So when you do the math, divide by 10, you get 100. 100 pieces of bracelets will come out from 1 kilogram. And in 1 ton, you get 1,000 kilograms. So when you do the math, you're having 100,000. 100,000 pieces of these bracelets will come out from 1 ton of stainless steel. And how much is 1 ton of stainless steel? $2,500. So let's just assume that in the open market it is $50 per bracelet of 10 grams. And let's take half of it as the cost that the manufacturer will sell it for, which is $50. If you multiply $50 by 1,000 pieces, you get $5 million. Imagine the quantum leap from 2,500 to $5 million. That is what I have been talking about when I talk about industrial manufacturing. Because you'll be able to import 1 ton of stainless steel into Nigeria, or into Cameroon, or into Ghana, or into Tanzania, anywhere in Africa, anywhere in Black Africa, particularly to a place like Nigeria where you have gas. And you have a foundry. You bring in the machinery that can make these things, because when you have this foundry, you'll be able to make multiple types of dental and medical materials that require steel, stainless steel. This is just one example. So you imagine, in Nigeria, we cannot manufacture stainless steel, but if we can import it into this country, if we bring it in, and you have a setup where Nigerians are in charge, they can bring in the machinery, you have expatriates to teach us how to make these things. They can teach us how to make hundreds of thousands of things every day, things that are used not only here in Nigeria, but everywhere in Africa and around the world. The moment you can produce it cheaper and of the same quality, you can export to anywhere you want. So this is a very good example of what we can gain practically through the industrial manufacturing process. I emphasize this because today our government is looking for more revenue. Population is growing, expenses are piling up, and they see that the way to get more money is to increase tax on petrol, increase tax on gas, increase tax on commodities. You see customs say they have been able to hit their target, but at that cost, you are putting pressure not only on the companies. Any pressure you put on the companies will be transferred to the consumers. And the Nigerian people are feeling a lot of pressure. And the only way to get out of this is to start the process of industrial manufacturing. If we can start doing that, you will see that the revenue that will be coming into the country will be far more, infinitely more than what we are trying to squeeze from the gas and petroleum that we have underneath our feet. We are putting too much emphasis on commodities. Our emphasis should be on industrial manufacturing. And it is very simple. It is not rocket science. This is something that is already being done all over the world, all over the industrialized world, and they are not selfish with the technology for us to approach them, bring it on. And once it is here, I keep saying, because we have gas everywhere in the south of Nigeria, you can site the plant there, bring in the white people, bring in the machinery, and our people will be attached to them. In a short time, you see that we'll be manufacturing so many things. This is just one example. Next time, I'll talk about so many examples of what we can do. But just for us to take that first step, we need to take it. And government is the catalyst that can assist in doing that. Yes, government needs money, but when you have a cow and you continue to take milk from the cow, there's a limit that you can not go beyond. Otherwise, the cow will die. You are squeezing Nigerians, not because you hate Nigerians, but because you need revenue. I am telling you, government, that you can get this revenue by just doing the needful. Encourage Nigerians, entrepreneurs, to invest in industrial manufacturing. Give them access to gas. Let that gas be free. Because whatever you are getting from gas is irrelevant compared to what you can get if you had gone into industrial manufacturing. People are talking about iron and steel industry in Nigeria. Don't bother about that, because iron ingot is only about $300 per ton on the international market. Stainless steel is about $2,500. Imagine the quantum leap from $2,500. I don't care how much you are going to add to it in terms of production, and you are able to generate $5 million. That is why Switzerland, a small country is doing so well. That is why you have countries in Europe doing so well. Imagine Switzerland. How much do you think of Meta they have in their wristwatches and they are selling for so much money and they call it Rolex? How much? How much do you have in the telephone in terms of raw material? Not much. But they are charging you for the added value, which is completely absent on the continent of Africa. But there are some countries that are pulling their weight. Egypt. You look at all the indices, Egypt is ahead of Nigeria. If you look at all the indices, South Africa is ahead of Nigeria. If you look at all the indices, Algeria is ahead of Nigeria. Nigeria, with a population of 250 million people, ought to be the center of gravity of Africa. And with the gas and the petroleum we have here, nothing should come close to us. We should be talking about being in the top 20 economies in the world. Today, we don't come anywhere close to 100. We don't even rank anywhere. We don't exist. We are pursuing shadows. I'm not criticizing. I'm offering a way forward because I love Nigeria. Everything I have here is Nigeria. People that travel overseas, I met somebody yesterday, said he went to Cameroon, and when he came back, he said, thank God for Nigeria. Somebody went to Gabon, he came back and said, thank God for Nigeria. Because there's something about us that is so effervescent that we can meet all challenges, we can withstand all hurdles, we can absorb all shocks, but we are pushing us to the limit. We are pushing the people to a limit where they cannot cope. I know it is not your intention to hurt anybody, but I am providing a solution. I want government, whether at the federal or state level, to think about it. Whatever amount you can delegate into it, encourage Nigerian entrepreneurs. Reduce your emphasis on Chinese. Reduce your emphasis on Indians. Because the money that they make as profit is being repatriated to their own country. They don't have any interest to industrialize Nigeria. They will not come in here to make this product we are talking about now, this bracelets, dental bracelets, because they know they can bring it from their country on the cheap. They know it doesn't cost much to do. It's just the know-how, the transfer of technology that we need. We have enough gas under our feet to produce any quantity of megawatts of power. And I've told you the way to be done. You can do it very cheaply. You can do it on a modular basis. You don't need to spend 8 years. It can be done in 6 months. It can be done in 9 months. Our industrial revolution can start even between 9 and 6 months if our government is behind us. I pray that one day this message will get across so that we can be able to chart a path of industrial development that will lead to greatness of Nigeria and the greatness of Africa. We have our people, they are now running overseas. If we can reshape our country, reshape our economy, you see that people will return to Nigeria. We have the population to do great things. I want us to take this as a challenge and look forward to this. Imagine from $2,500 to $5 million, just by putting up a plant in a small structure with enough electricity, and you manufacture these things. Technological transfer can take place, and with that, you see by the time we have multiple of this type of industries, the petroleum and the gas that we are relying on will become insignificant. You see the way Trump is going about his country. He's so passionate. He's bringing in factories that left to China, returning them to America. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw a program where Hyundai plant, they brought in 475 workers from South Korea. They went and arrested all of them and asked them to go back to their country because they want Americans to have jobs. That is what my program is about. We want Nigerians to have jobs, not just jobs, but jobs where you can add value, where we can stand and increase our gross domestic product. Today, our GDP is only about 270-something billion. South Africa is ahead of us. Egypt is ahead of us. Algeria is ahead of us, yet we have the largest population in Africa, we have the largest oil reserve, we have the largest gas reserve. What's going on? What's going on? We can make this happen. We should start doubting ourselves and grab the bull by the horns. I remain your advocate for the industrial development of Africa. Until next time, bye-bye. $2,500 to $5 million. That is what I have been talking about. Imagine Switzerland. How much do you think of Meta they have in their wristwatches and they are selling for so much money and they call it Rolex? Today, our government is looking for more revenue. Population is growing. Expenses are piling up. We are putting too much emphasis on commodities. Our emphasis should be on industrial manufacturing. And it is very simple. It is not rocket science. Egypt is ahead of Nigeria. If you look at all the indices, South Africa is ahead of Nigeria. Look at all the indices. Algeria is ahead of Nigeria. And the Nigerian people are feeling a lot of pressure. And the only way to get out of this is to start a process of industrial manufacturing.